Okay, so get ready for this. It's November 1st.
Hmm.
And, you might be thinking, what happened on this date throughout history?
Right. It's always a fascinating question.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to dive deep into that today. But here's the catch.
Hmm.
Our source for this deep dive is a Wikipedia article
Okay.
entirely in Arabic.
Ooh, interesting. That adds a whole new layer to things.
It really does.
It's like we're getting a glimpse of history from a
Yeah.
completely different perspective.
Exactly. So even though, we might not all be fluent in Arabic,
Right.
what can this source tell us about November 1st?
Well, for starters, it highlights how different cultures track time. Most of us use the Gregorian calendar,
Right.
but this article, it also gives us the corresponding date in the Islamic calendar, which is the 28th of Rabi al-Thani,
Okay.
1446 AH.
So different calendars, different ways of marking time.
Exactly.
That's a really cool starting point.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the events.
Yeah, let's do it.
The stuff that really happened on November 1st throughout history. So where do we even begin?
Well, we could go all the way back to 1179
Okay.
with the crowning of King Philip II of France.
Ooh, royalty.
Always a good place to start.
Yeah, always a good place to start. Was this Philip a big deal?
He was. He was. His reign, really marked
Yeah.
a significant change for France. They became a more centralized power during that time,
Okay.
really laying the groundwork
Got it.
for their influence in Europe later on.
Okay. Setting the stage for centuries to come.
Hmm.
Now, the article mentions a battle in 1623
Yes.
involving someone named Fakhr al-Din II.
Right. Fakhr al-Din II was the ruler of the Chouf region in
Oh.
Lebanon.
Okay, and who was he up against in this battle?
Well, he had these ambitious plans, to modernize, unify the area,
Right.
but he was ultimately defeated
Yeah.
by the Ottoman Empire in this battle.
So a clash of empires, a
Yeah.
leader trying to make change happen.
Classic.
Classic historical drama.
It really is.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit. What about the 19th century?
Okay, the 19th century, that brought a whole wave of kind of cultural and sporting milestones.
Really?
Yeah. In 1869, the Khedivial Opera House
Mm.
opened in Egypt.
Oh, wow.
A stunning blend of,
I bet that was something to see.
oh, absolutely, European and Egyptian architectural styles.
Okay, cool. What about sports?
And then we go across the Mediterranean in 1897,
Correct.
the iconic Juventus Football Club.
Wait, Juventus, as in the Juventus.
That's right.
Wow. Okay, November 1st is shaping up to be
Yeah.
a really significant day.
It is. We're just getting started, though,
Okay.
because the early 20th century, that was a pivotal period, especially in the Middle East. In 1908, Sharif Hussein
Huh?
was appointed Emir of Mecca.
Okay, and why was that such a big deal?
Well, that move would have major implications for the region,
Yeah.
particularly during World War I.
So we're starting to see some of those seeds of global conflict kind of being planted at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
What else happened in those early 1900s?
Well, in 1911, during the Italo-Turkish War,
Right.
we saw kind of a grim first,
What was that?
the dropping of a bomb
Oh, wow.
from a military aircraft.
From an airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really kind of foreshadowed the devastating
Yeah.
air warfare that we'd see in the future.
And then, of course,
Yeah.
1914,
Right.
the start of World War I.
The Ottoman Empire and Russia declared war on each other.
Wow, those were some tumultuous times.
Really were.
It's like, history was on fast forward during those years.
It's true. So many events that would really shape the course of the 20th century all crammed into just a few years.
Okay, so jumping ahead to the mid-1900s,
Okay.
what happens?
Well, we have the establishment of the Republic of Turkey in 1922,
Okay.
which marked the end of the Ottoman Empire,
Oh, wow.
and the rise of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk as a truly transformative leader.
That is a huge turning point. The fall of an empire and the birth of a new nation, all on November 1st.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. What happened after that monumental shift?
Well, then in 1927, the Palestine Currency Board introduced the Palestinian pound,
Interesting.
a currency that would circulate in both Palestine and Jordan until 1950.
Currency, that's such a symbol of identity, autonomy.
Yeah,
It's really amazing to think about how that shapes people's lives.
you're absolutely right. And speaking of shaping the world,
Yeah.
in 1945, UNESCO was founded, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization.
Oh, UNESCO.
Yeah.
They do such important work, and they promoting education,
Right.
cultural understanding around the globe.
It's an incredible legacy for
Yeah.
November 1st.
It really is.
But this era, of course, also marked by conflict.
Yeah.
In 1950, during the Korean War,
Mhm.
the first MiG-15 aircraft
Oh, yeah.
made its combat debut attacking U.S. forces at the Yalu River.
The Korean War, another turning point in 20th century history.
It was, and that wasn't the only dramatic event of 1950.
Wasn't that also the year of President Truman's assassination attempt?
Yes, indeed. Two Puerto Rican nationalists tried to assassinate President Truman,
Wow.
highlighting the political turmoil.
That is
Yeah, time. It's like they crammed a whole season of a historical drama
I know, right?
into 1 year.
Yeah, it really was. And if that wasn't enough, 1952 saw the U.S. detonate the first hydrogen bomb in history,
Oh, wow.
a test code named Ivy Mike.
Okay.
It unleashed just this terrifying amount of energy,
I can only imagine.
described as being brighter than 1,000 suns.
Thousand Suns. It's awe-inspiring, but also chilling, you know? It puts the power of that era into perspective.
Absolutely. And amid these displays of power, movements for independence were gaining momentum. The Algerian Revolution began in 1954, eventually leading to Algeria's independence from France
Right.
after a really long and difficult struggle.
A reminder that the fight for freedom can take many forms and unfold over many, many years. Exactly. And that struggle for control played out on the global stage as well. In 1956, during the Suez Crisis, Egypt seized control of French and British assets.
Right. The Suez Crisis. That was a pivotal moment
Yeah.
in the post-colonial world. You know. It had repercussions
Absolutely.
far beyond just that immediate region.
It really did. And in response to Egypt's actions, Syria and Jordan severed diplomatic ties with France.
So we've got the Cold War kind of intensifying. Decolonization movements are on the rise. What comes next in our November 1st timeline?
Well, in 1962, the Soviet Union launched the first spacecraft to Mars, marking a significant leap in the space race.
Yeah.
And then, kind of amidst all those Cold War tension, we have a moment of hope. The Berlin Wall was temporarily opened in 1964.
Oh, really?
To allow those over 65 to visit family on the other side.
Wow, what a powerful image,
Yeah.
Even if it was temporary, it speaks volumes about that human need for connection.
Right.
Even when there's so much division.
Absolutely. But as some barriers were coming down, others were going up. In 1968, a general strike erupted in Jerusalem to protest Israeli military administration of the city.
It's like every November 1st brings both steps forward and reminders of those challenges we face as a global community.
It's true. It's true. And sometimes even progress comes with these unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Like in 1969, there was a ceasefire agreement between the Lebanese government and the Palestine Liberation Organization.
Right.
But it was a fragile peace.
The elusive search for lasting peace.
It is.
In a region that's been marked by conflict for so long.
Exactly. And then the 1970s brought about these new challenges. The Arab oil embargo in 1973, a response to the October War,
Right.
that led to this global fuel crisis.
Oh, wow.
American airlines were forced to cancel 160 daily flights just to conserve fuel.
I can only imagine what kind of impact that had on
It was
travel and the global economy.
significant. And amidst those economic uncertainties, the U.S. withdrew from the International Labor Organization that same year.
Interesting how these seemingly unrelated events,
Right.
like an oil embargo, withdrawing from an international organization, they can all be connected to these larger currents of history.
Exactly. It's all part of this big, complex tapestry.
Yeah.
But even amidst those challenges, there were some moments of hope. In 1977, the largest uranium deposit was discovered in the Black Sea.
A new energy source.
Exactly. Potentially offering a new source of energy for a world facing a growing energy crisis.
That's quite a find.
It was. And speaking of discoveries, the American spacecraft Voyager 1 sent back those stunning images of Saturn in 1980.
Oh, those Voyager images are just incredible.
Yeah.
They really capture that sense of wonder,
Yeah.
exploration
All day.
that defines humanity's relationship with the cosmos.
They do. What else happened in the 1980s? Well, in 1982, Egypt was elected to the UN Security Council for the 4th time, demonstrating their growing influence on the world stage.
It's amazing how this one date, November 1st, it touches on so many different aspects of global affairs. Politics, conflict, scientific discoveries, cultural achievements.
It is remarkable. And as we head into the 1990s, We see the Arab League headquarters returning to Cairo
Well,
after being in Tunis for a while.
right.
This symbolized a shifting political landscape in the Middle East, with Egypt kind of reclaiming its role as a regional leader.
A return to Cairo.
Yeah.
Full of symbolic weight, huh?
Exactly. And across the Mediterranean in 1993, we saw the implementation of the Maastricht Treaty, a landmark agreement that really paved the way for the formation of the European Union.
Right, the EU.
Yeah.
Another massive development
Huge.
with global implications.
It really is. And then in 1996, Al Jazeera was founded.
Al Jazeera, wow, this is incredible.
November 1st, 1996 marked the launch of Al Jazeera from Doha, Qatar. And this news network, it would go on to revolutionize news reporting in the Arab world and beyond.
We've covered so much ground already, and we haven't even reached the 21st century.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
It just goes to show you how much history is packed into this single date.
Ready to keep going?
Absolutely. Bring on the 21st century.
Okay, so we're in the 21st century now, and November 1st is still a day for big events. Like in 2009, Abdullah, he withdrew from the final round of the Afghan presidential election.
Oh, wow.
He was concerned about fairness and transparency in the process.
Right. So even in the 21st century, we see those echoes of, political struggles, and that fight for democratic processes still playing out on this date.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that history, it doesn't just stop at a certain point.
Right.
These issues continue to shape our world.
Yeah.
Speaking of shaping the world, in 2010, we have a historic moment. Dilma Rousseff was elected the first female president of Brazil.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was a real milestone for women in politics.
Yeah, absolutely.
A sign of progress towards greater representation. But as we've seen throughout history, tragedy can strike even amidst these moments of celebration.
Yeah.
In 2012, there was a gas tanker explosion in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And it resulted in a devastating loss of life. 22 people were killed and 132 were injured.
A reminder that even on a day marked by so many, positive events,
right,
there are also these moments of profound loss and grief.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, a microcosm of the human experience itself.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then those complexities of our world continued to unfold on November 1st, 2013, when the leader of the Pakistani Taliban, Hakimullah Masood, was killed in a CIA drone strike.
Another event that, sparks debate, raises these complex questions about the use of technology in warfare, the fight against terrorism.
Yeah, it's a conversation that's still going on today. And then in 2015, Cyclone Chapala hit Socotra Island in Yemen.
Oh, wow.
Causing widespread devastation. And on the political front, that same year, Turkey held parliamentary elections, with the Justice and Development Party regaining its majority.
So even recent history shows us that November 1st is a day of both, these natural disasters, but also these political shifts.
It's true.
It really does seem like this date captures that full spectrum of human experience.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And, we haven't even touched upon the individual lives that began and ended on this date. The people who really made their mark on the world, for better or worse.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not just about these world events, but the people who lived through them, shaped them, were shaped by them.
Exactly.
So let's talk about some of those remarkable individuals.
Okay.
Who are some of the notable figures born on November 1st?
Well, we could start with Stephen Crane, the American novelist, short story writer, poet, and journalist, born on this day in 1871. He's best known for his Civil War novel, The Red Badge of Courage.
Oh, The Red Badge of Courage. I remember reading that.
Yeah.
Such a powerful book. It really explores the psychological effects of war.
He had this incredible ability to capture that inner turmoil of his characters. A master of realism, really. Okay,
so from the battlefield to the halls of diplomacy, who else do we have?
Well, we have Carlos Saavedra Lamas, born in Argentina in 1878.
Okay.
He was a prominent politician, diplomat, and he actually received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1936.
Wow, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate.
Right, for his role in mediating the Chaco War between Bolivia and Paraguay.
It's so inspiring to see, these individuals who dedicate their lives to resolving conflicts and promoting peace.
Absolutely.
So who else shares this November 1st birthday?
Get ready for this one. Alfred Wegener, German scientist and astronomer who proposed the theory of continental drift.
Wait, Continental drift, like the idea that the continents move over time.
That's right.
That Alfred Wegener.
The one and only. His ideas were, they were revolutionary.
Yeah.
Although not widely accepted at the time.
Right.
But today, of course,
Yeah.
his theory is the foundation of our understanding of plate tectonics and the dynamic nature of our planet.
It's amazing how one person's ideas can shift our entire understanding of the world.
Isn't it?
It's really incredible.
Makes you realize how much potential for change each of us carries within us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of individuals who dedicated their lives to making a difference, we have Philip Noel Baker.
Okay.
A British politician, diplomat, and athlete.
Wow.
Who passionately advocated for peace and disarmament. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1959.
2 Nobel Peace Prize laureates born on the same day.
I know, right?
November 1st is really turning out to be a day of remarkable individuals.
It is. Now let's shift gears a bit and celebrate the world of music.
Okay.
Wadi El-Safi, the legendary Lebanese singer and composer.
Okay.
He was born on this day in 1921. A true icon, known for his powerful voice and dedication to preserving Lebanese musical heritage.
I've heard his music.
Yeah.
So beautiful and moving, It's a reminder of how music can transcend borders and connect us across cultures.
Absolutely. And speaking of bridging cultures, we have Edward Said, the Palestinian-American intellectual, literary critic, and activist born in 1935.
Right, Edward Said.
Yeah.
His book, Orientalism.
Yes, best known for that book.
It really critiqued Western representations of the East, sparked important conversations about cultural understanding and representation.
A true visionary, really.
Yeah, his work has had such a profound impact on academia and beyond.
It has
challenging us to think critically about how we perceive and portray different cultures.
And then in the realm of humanitarianism, we have Bernard Kouchner, born in 1939. He's a French physician and co-founder of Doctors Without Borders.
Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah.
Incredible organization, providing essential care to those who need it most, often in really challenging circumstances.
Absolutely.
It's inspiring to see people like that using their skills to make such a positive impact on the world.
It is. Now, for a name that might be a little more familiar to many of us, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, was also born on November 1st.
No way.
Yeah, in 1960.
Tim Cook. That's wild.
Yeah.
From iPhones to Apple Watches, he's really had a hand in shaping the technology we use every day.
He's a major figure in the tech world, for sure.
Yeah.
And finally, let's celebrate Aishwarya Rai.
Okay.
Born in 1973. She's an Indian actress and model who was crowned Miss World in 1994.
Okay.
And she's gone on to have a very successful career in Bollywood and become a global icon.
What a diverse group of individuals all born on the same day.
Right.
It's really like a snapshot of the incredible range of human talent and achievement.
It is.
But as we celebrate these lives, we also have to acknowledge those that ended on this date, right? It's a natural part of life's cycle. And remembering those who came before us helps us understand the full tapestry of history.
Beautifully said. Ready to explore some of those notable figures who passed away on November 1st.
Absolutely. Let's delve into that part of history now.
All right. Well, let's start by remembering Alexander III, Tsar of Russia, who died on this date in 1894.
Okay.
His reign was a time of rapid industrialization, modernization for Russia, but also a period marked by a lot of social unrest and political repression.
Tsarist Russia.
Yeah.
A period of such dramatic change and upheaval. It's amazing to think about how those events continue to shape, Russia's identity even today.
It really is. Those echoes of history reverberate in fascinating ways. Now, from the world of politics to the world of scholarship, we have Theodor Mommsen, a German historian, archaeologist, jurist, journalist, politician, and writer who passed away on this day in 1903. A true Renaissance man.
He sounds like he was quite the overachiever.
He really was.
Yeah.
And he received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1902.
Wow, a Nobel Prize winner.
Right. For his monumental work, The History of Rome.
He sounds like he was a force of nature, intellectually speaking.
Oh, yeah, a giant in the world of academia. Now, let's move on to someone whose work has likely had a more direct impact on many of our lives. Dale Carnegie.
Okay.
The American writer and lecturer, known for his self-help classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, Dale Carnegie.
He died on November 1st, 1955.
His book is still so popular today.
It is.
It's a real testament to the enduring power of communication and building relationships.
Right.
It's amazing how those insights continue to resonate with people, even across generations.
Absolutely. And from the world of self-improvement to the the
Yo.
complexities of art and politics, we have Ezra Pound, the American poet and critic, who died on this day in 1972.
Okay.
He was a key figure in the modernist movement, but also a controversial figure due to his political views and his support of fascism during World War II.
Ezra Pound, a reminder that, brilliance and talent don't always go hand in hand with moral clarity.
Unfortunately not.
It's a challenge we often face when engaging with art and artists.
It is.
Trying to separate the work from the person,
Right.
grappling with those complexities of their legacies.
It's a crucial conversation to have.
Yeah.
And finally, we remember Paul Tibbets, the American pilot who piloted the Enola Gay, the B-29 bomber that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima during World War II.
Right.
He died on this day in 2007.
Wow. Paul Tibbets, a figure forever linked to one of the most consequential and controversial events in human history.
Absolutely.
It's a stark reminder of the destructive power we wield as human beings. And that weighty responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah, his death, like his life, really sparked a lot of debate and reflection about the use of atomic weapons. A conversation that's, that remains relevant in our world today.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a sobering reminder of the lasting impact of these historical events and the ethical dilemmas they pose.
Right. But November 1st isn't just about, remembering the past.
No, it's not.
It's also about how we celebrate the present.
Right, exactly.
So we've journeyed through centuries of history, explored wars, revolutions, births, deaths.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. And now it's time to look at how this day is celebrated around the world.
Yeah.
What are some of the holidays and observances associated with this date?
Well, for the people of Algeria, November 1st is a day of remembrance and reflection.
Okay.
It marks the anniversary of the start of their War of Independence. That long and hard-fought struggle for freedom from French rule.
A day to honor the sacrifices made in the pursuit of liberty and self-determination.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a reminder that the freedoms we often enjoy today came at a great cost for many.
They did. But on a more celebratory note, November 1st is also Independence Day in Antigua and Barbuda.
Okay.
They gained their independence from the United Kingdom in 1981. And this day is marked with parades, festivals, all sorts of joyous cultural events.
So while Algerians are commemorating, this hard-won struggle, the people of Antigua and Barbuda are celebrating their nationhood with a party.
It's amazing.
It's fascinating how the same date can hold such different meanings.
Yeah, it really is.
For different cultures around the world.
Yeah. And finally, for those who are passionate about animal welfare and plant-based living, November 1st is World Vegan Day.
Right, World Vegan Day.
A day to promote the vegan lifestyle.
Yeah.
And raise awareness about the ethical and environmental benefits of a plant-based diet.
A day for delicious food and advocating for a more compassionate world.
It is.
You know what? I'm starting to think November 1st should be called International Day of Contrasts.
I love it.
Yeah.
It really is a day of contrasts.
Yeah.
Somber reflection and joyous celebration. Reminders of conflict and steps towards peace. Scientific breakthroughs.
Cultural achievements, everything in between.
And everything in between. It really does have it all.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
We started this deep dive wanting to learn, what happened on November 1st.
Yeah.
And we've been on this whirlwind tour through centuries of history, across continents, across cultures, all starting from this one Arabic Wikipedia article.
And imagine how much richer our understanding would be if we explored November 1st through sources from, other cultures and different historical perspectives.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that history is never just one story. It's a tapestry woven from countless threads.
Yeah.
Each with its own unique perspective and significance.
That's what makes history so endlessly fascinating.
Yeah.
Right. There's always more to learn.
Right.
More to uncover.
Yeah,
more to connect.
Exactly. So, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to keep exploring. Pick a date, any date.
Yeah.
Do a little digging and see what you find.
Yeah.
You never know what hidden gems of history are out there just waiting to be discovered.
What a great way to put it. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through November 1st.
It's been my pleasure.
It really has been an eye-opener. Until next time, keep diving deep.